my lovely law enthusiast humans. I recorded this on the same day that I recorded the other ones for catch up on Sunday, August 31st. But I had to do other stuff in life. I actually just got back in from doing car cleaning stuff. And so now I have time to resume doing some filming, and then I can get these things edited and put up. All right, so we are on to trial day 6. Trial day 6 on Friday, the last Friday of August, we continued with more wiretaps and phone calls. However, the bump that happened, or the verbal sting operation that had happened, it took 2 years of investigations and putting things together and making connections to be able to have enough evidence to get warrants to arrest other people. So Garcia and Rivera get arrested, they get charged. They're kind of part in connection because of their cell phone towers and their cell phone usage getting connected to Tallahassee and traveling all the way through. And then Charlie Adelson and Katie Magbanawaz's connections happening. After the bump happens, Charlie gets arrested. Katie's trial comes up, and both of them get convicted pretty close together. After Charlie's conviction, everything happens very, very quickly. So what happens is they continue to wiretap Donna's phone, because connecting Charlie to Katie was pretty easy. We can see all of the exchanges of phone calls and everything that went down. And because of Katie Magbanawaz chatting and Garcia to Harvey Adelson, that one phone call that they said, because Garcia had tried to get a hold of Charlie to yell at him or whatever he was going to do. 6, we continue with some more wiretapped phone calls, but only sort of, because Charlie gets convicted and Donna was talking to Charlie on the jailhouse phone calls. Now, jailhouse phone calls are not private. They tell you right at the beginning, this is a recorded line. Everything you're saying will be recorded. Now, the only time that doesn't work is if you are talking to your lawyer. There is a separate special line that you can talk to privately. The very beginning is recorded to say that you're going into the different line system. But after that, you no longer get recorded because of attorney-client privilege. However, you do not have that with inmate outside connection. You don't have any of those protections. But Donna didn't want to hang up the phone. Charlie had disconnected on the phone, and they didn't want to try to reconnect because it costs money every time you reconnect. And the reconnection is really where the jails make their money for that sort of a thing. Whether or not that's right or wrong isn't the point of this. That's how it's going down. So she's holding on, hoping that Charlie's end will come back on so she doesn't have to try to recall to make another collect call connection. Well, Charlie wasn't hearing of this, and it was all getting recorded. Donna Adelson and Harvey Adelson were having some people over, and they were saying some very interesting things. This is where we start getting Donna talking about flight. This is where the prosecution says that Donna was not planning on going on vacation because of this recorded phone call. She was saying, like, we don't have time to get them downloaded. She wanted Wendy to help her, but Wendy started setting some hard boundaries when it came after Charlie's conviction. She was like, I don't want to know. And she heard everything. Wendy heard everything that happened in Charlie's thing. And Charlie and Donna had phone calls together in his trial that they didn't necessarily come up in this trial, but you can watch that if you want to. I will put a link to a thing called police phone calls, where you can hear recorded messages between jail calls and stuff. I will link that below so you can hear those and find those for yourself if you're interested. And there was an interesting conversation where Donna is still trying to set Wendy up with someone named Dave. And her and Charlie are like, he said, yeah, he goes, I don't have to take my day off on Sunday. Charlie speaking. I will go up to Tallahassee and talk to Wendy and say that she needs to start dating Dave. Or I'll go up to Wendy's and say that she needs to start dating Dave because he's the whole package and blah, blah, blah. And Donna's like, yeah, I just don't understand why she won't date him. So maybe if you can talk to your sister, both of them doing manipulation of her relationship. And I don't know if Wendy was feeling guilt. I don't know if Wendy was feeling scared after Charlie got convicted about her own fate and thinking that maybe her children would be without both parents, one deceased and the other in jail. And since her parents would be up and away, and just keep in mind the whole time this is happening, Dan Markel's parents are hearing all of this in the audience. Harvey Adelson and both of Dan's parents are sitting in the courtroom hearing all this horrible stuff that Donna and Charlie and Wendy and all these people have to say. Their son was just a good Jewish guy living his life, and because of, it seems, mostly one person, Donna, his life was taken away and he doesn't get to be with his children. So that's very hurtful to think about. And it's just something to keep in mind, that this isn't just about these group of people. It's about all these other hurt people and how Dan Markel's family might feel about all of this. But anyway, I digress. Donna starts saying that she wanted Wendy to help her, but Wendy, just whenever Donna tried to talk to Wendy from Charlie's point on, she's like, I can't, my lawyer said not to talk about it. I'm not talking about Charlie. I'm not talking about any of this. No, goodbye. No. And she started having less and less interactions with Donna and Harvey. And she just kept saying, I can't talk to you about the case. Don't talk to me about this. And Donna was sitting there going, well, this isn't about the case. This is just about your brother. Why don't you want to check on your brother? I think Wendy was feeling hurt. Her whole life has been dedicated to people, and she had a good life. And it was ruined because of Donna. And she doesn't want to go down with this cause too. And Donna is clearly trying to emotionally manipulate her. She was saying things on this recorded jail call. She was saying things such as, I was texting her. She's like, I know that you never ask about Charlie, but I wanted you to know that the first thing when we called Charlie on his time, he asked, how's Wendy holding up? And I didn't have the heart to tell him that you don't care about him at all and haven't asked about him at all. But I said that you're doing as could be expected. Clear manipulation by Donna. Emotional manipulation. Your brother did so much for you, and you won't even ask how he is after he got locked up. Donna was mad. She was mad about how little time the jury spent on his trial. She had also sent Wendy a message saying something about she knows she's next, that she's on the line. Then she was continuing to talk to the other people in the room while still on that recorded jail call. She goes, we have to get everything downloaded. I need to get Wendy the password to the safe. I thought Wendy could help me with this, my daughter. And she's like, and she was saying, I have a son who doesn't talk to me at all, another son locked up, and now my daughter has abandoned me. Once the kids are older and they didn't need nannies anymore, I guess we're no good. And the other people in the room were being concurrent with her, pardon me. She was saying, we've been looking it up over and over if there's extradition from Vietnam. Now, extradition is a particular word. She knows that word from Wendy. Vietnam is a non-extradition country, which means that if you get charged with a crime in the United States and you go to Vietnam, Vietnam has no obligation. They don't have a treaty with the U.S. They have no obligation or desire to send the U.S. criminal back to the U.S. to get charged. They won't do it. So they're looking for non-extradition countries. And she said, because we've looked at all the places, I could go to Korea or China, but there's no extradition. We're looking for places where there's no extradition. She doesn't say we're looking for somewhere to go on vacation. She doesn't say we're looking for somewhere with deep-rooted history, blah, blah, blah. She's looking for no extradition. And they're saying this is connecting. This is her knowingly, willingly, and premeditatively, and it's her connection to guilt. It's a part of the conspiracy. She feels the walls coming in on the investigation after Charlie gets convicted. She thinks she's next. She knows she's next. And they're trying to get out. It also doesn't help that the other connection to Donna from Charlie, in Charlie's case, he was saying that him and his mother were being extorted, that for no connection reason at all, killers went and shot Dan Markel and then came to them to try to get money because of their like dental institution or whatever. He was sitting there saying that him and Donna were being extorted, and that's why Donna was writing the checks. After this, we get the tea. The time for tea is upon us on day 6. Donna gets asked to do a testimony to be sworn in. Now, normally, a defendant is only sworn in when they're taking the stand. But for a particular court goings on, Donna had to be sworn in before the other 2 witnesses were brought in. These are the jailhouse informants. So there were 2 women she shared a pod with. A pod, I guess, is when you're in jail. Prison might be different. But when you're in jail in custody, there are sections that you're put into with multiple other women. You sleep in the same area. You eat together. You're doing downtime stuff the whole time. And 2 of the women who shared a pod with Donna, named Patricia and Drina, were coming up. The first one is Patricia. And Patricia said that she had been with her for a few months, for like maybe 5-6 months in the same pod. And she had asked Donna, the prosecution directly asked Patricia if she had been given any promises or anything. She said no. She was asked if she was in custody for whatever she was in custody for, and she said yes. And then they asked her if she had ever directly asked Donna if Donna did what she was charged with doing. And Donna said yes. Donna told her yes because they got pretty close. They were hanging out together all the time and stuff. And Patricia said that she was much closer to Drina. Drina is another inmate who had shared a few months, a little less than Patricia, but she had gotten really close to Donna, and Donna had called Drina Donna's jail daughter, and also creepily referred to her as Sunshine. If you do not know, Donna Adelson called her 2 grandsons her Sunshine, and that's why she had told one of them why she was so mad at Dan Markel. It was because he was trying to take her sunshines away. So the fact that she has this attachment to Drina, calling her Sunshine, is kind of weird. Maybe that's just me. That gives me the creeps. But both of them had said that Donna was paying them, offered to pay them, buying them gifts, like from commissary. When you're in jail, somebody puts money on your books, and then you can use that when the time comes around. You kind of get a catalog, and you can order extra food, coffee, things that you do not normally get in jail. If you want extra food and things for pain or not pain, but like menstruation, Band-Aids, things like that you normally would have to go through hoops in jail to get. Well, she was buying them stuff from her commissary. Harvey was putting money on her books, and she would buy them extra ramen, extra food, candy, and things like that. And she had told her, if you say that Katie McBanois told you a different story. So Donna is telling Patricia to say on the stand that Katie told Patricia, because Katie McBanois and Patricia had shared custody and shared a pod previously. and that Donna wanted her to give a different testimony and said that she could get her a house on the outside, that she could pay for it. And Donna continues to try to use money to get her way, even when she's behind bars. She has also been accused in this thing. Donna has been shown to try to be using Harvey to help her. That's why, like, she was like, put extra money on my book so I can get extra stuff to give to my jailmates to get them on my side. And supposedly, allegedly, Donna was using the lawyer line. She was using the unrecorded line for false pretenses. Instead of talking to her lawyer about her case, she was using that unrecorded line for her own purposes so that she could try to talk to Harvey and do planning with him without worrying about being recorded. Drina came up on the stand the second time, and she had a notebook. A notebook was put on the stand, and the prosecution said, "Whose notebook is this?" "That's my notebook." And they were comparing notes and handwriting from Donna from other things to the handwriting that was in Drina's notebook. There was an entire script in the notebook where it was like question, answer, question, answer. One of the questions, we see where Charlie gets it from. Donna wants to seem like she's so important. Whereas, like, how do you know Donna Adelson? Oh, everyone knew Donna Adelson. I saw her on the news, in the newspaper, and TV, etc. Newspaper, Donna. Newspaper. I mean, we're talking like this is 3+ years later, just, in the last year or so when she got arrested. Newspaper. And then she was saying that Katie had told Drina, like, "Oh, what a fool Charlie was, a stupid fool." Really? That's what how you think Katie Magbanois is going to talk? Okay. "Did you know Donna from the TV and news?" And she goes, "No, we didn't know who Donna was from anybody. I just, like, somebody to talk to because you have to. Like, you're there 24/7. You might as well, get cozy with somebody." And Drina also said that she originally came forward to the investigators when Donna had brought this stuff up for selfish reasons. She had wanted, like, some lesser time. She was hoping that she could get out early and get help getting into some therapy. And Drina had 27 other stints of being in and out of prison for various things. And the prosecutor brought, were you... "Have you had charges related to being dishonest about things?" And she said yes. And they asked her, "Well, why are you coming forward now? Why did you do this? Just because you were hoping to get out early?" She goes, "That's how it started. But the longer, like, I was talking with Donna, and the more she even sometimes referred to her grandchildren as her children," also creepy. She said, that she felt for the Markel family, and she didn't like that the father of children was taken away for what Drina seems no reason. And she said she wants justice. And we had this continuous thing. Patricia said something similar. She was like, "I just came forward to tell the truth." She goes, "because it hurts me if I don't." And she goes, and I felt bad about the situation. It just didn't feel right. Anytime children are getting hurt, people become defensive. And it seems that to everybody but Donna and Charlie, I guess, they were doing more harm than good to their grandsons. Drina also says that she was given packages, and the way Drina describes these packages are that they're basically gas station food, like just a bunch of gas station food. But when you're in jail, it's cool to get beef jerky and, like, candies and gum and stuff of that nature. Because when you're in jail and you don't have the money for commissary, you don't have somebody to put money on your books, you're just forced to eat when you're allowed to and whatever they're serving, which by all accounts, is not great food. And it's not a lot of food because, let's face it, they're not interested in treating people properly when they're in jail because people think you're getting punished. You don't deserve to be treated humanely. I know I tangent about this a lot. I disagree with how our jails are run. I think they should be used to make people better. I understand that you don't want it to be good that people want to come back, but it shouldn't be so bad that people are harmed. Anyway, she said that, she was given packages, she was given extra commissary items and stuff, and she was also given phone calls. Phone calls are very expensive, and Donna would pay and let Drina and Patricia use her phone to be able to make calls, and she was also promised housing, etc., when they got out of jail in exchange for the tampered testimony. You're learning, or maybe not learning, that just because you have money, people often think this, that just because you have money, you can get away with everything. But you can't. Money can't buy everything. And I mean, you need to think about this. These are two women who have been in and out of jail at least a few times for Patricia and multiple times for Drina. They don't have a lot on the outside. They don't have a lot going for them in general. And then they have this woman who comes from wealth. She has wealth on the outside, who's able to give them things, or says she can, and she proves it through the commissary and phone calls, etc. But they're still like, this isn't right. We're not gonna do this. Now, of course, at the time, she's like, yeah, I accepted the packages then, but I had already turned over the notebook and stuff to the investigators. In fact, one of the gifts that Drina was promised was a grand piano. What? Maybe Drina told Donna she dreamed of being able to play the piano or owning a grand piano. That's a sign of status and something for Drina. And Donna's like, if you want a grand piano, I can get you a grand piano. You just got to answer the questions that I wrote for you the way I wrote them. Didn't work out for you though, did it? But I think the worst thing is that Drina is a recovering addict. And Donna had told her a certain doctor's name. I think they said Obit. I will put a correction down here if I'm wrong. But that she could get pills and drugs if she needed them to this doctor to get them prescribed to her. That's disgusting, Donna. This person is already struggling. Drina is already struggling. She's a recovering drug addict. She's trying to get past that. In fact, that was one of the things she had said, why she had come forward, that she was hoping to be able to get into some therapy and some help for that. And Donna's over here going, well, I mean, if you need a fix, manipulation. That's to try to take advantage of somebody like that while they're down. I mean, I don't think that there is any good bone in Donna's body. After Drina gets off the stand, we had a handwriting analysis expert, and this is really rare. Handwriting analysis is regularly shown to not be the most reliable. The standards for it are very hard, so it's not often that a handwriting expert gets called to the stand. But because they had so many examples of handwriting from Donna's planner, from notes that she had left her cellmates, and the writing in the notebook, that's what they're doing. They're connecting all her other definitive writing to what's in the notebook. They were showing how she writes her A's, how her T's are constantly connected, the way that she writes certain I's, and they were just showing the slants and angles, comparing them to, say, Drina's handwriting after Charlie's conviction between Wendy and Donna. And they were showing in Donna's planner, speaking of Donna's planner from the handwriting expert, that she had things like canceling disability insurance in the United States, that she was not going to be able to make it to a bar mitzvah, to call Dan to tell Charlie stuff, because this is where they're getting this from. Dan is Charlie's attorney, who Donna originally wanted for her attorney. Because if she would have called and told Charlie something, it would have been recorded. I mean, it ended up being recorded anyway, but Dan telling Charlie anything would have been privated. So we're continuing to see Donna trying to misuse lawyer lines at the jails, and her canceling disability insurance, canceling certain utilities and things of that nature. That implies a very long-term thing. Now, I have never gone on a long-term vacation. Is that something for those of you who travel extensively? Is that what you do? You cancel your insurance, you cancel your utility bills. You don't just let them not get used while you're gone, you whatever. But she's saying they're trying to say that she could have gotten a 90-day visa, and that her one-way ticket was because they didn't know how long they would travel for. They'd be traveling for X amount of time, but they're making that flight. Now, I will link to her arrest video below. They did not show that on day 6. They might show that in the future, but it is linked below if you want to see that. And we are now all caught up on everything, I think. But that is what I have for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, my lovely humans. The trial tea, am I right?